Very scrappy team. We just played, as you can tell by the end of the game. But anyway, very scrappy team. They played really hard. Really did a good job the first half of really taking us, exposing us defensively, really getting into the gaps, getting into the paint. So we came in at halftime and didn't make a whole lot of X's and O's adjustments. Just had to I'll kindly say, light a fire underneath their butts. So we're still trying to figure ourselves out. Coming off of a championship season, sometimes there's a lot of pressure. I'm trying to get them to just go play. Don't worry about repeating what we did last year. Just go play and just take one day, one practice, one quarter, one half, one game at a time. That second half, that's ECU basketball. The way we started that third quarter, that's who we are. And so some of these new kids hadn't felt that before. We hadn't played that way all year long, in that scrappy, that grimy, that grindy on defense. So, just really talked about, that's the way it's supposed to feel. That's the way it's supposed to look. And we got to stay in that from here on out. We have to stay in that. We've been on a really long stretch here, got some tired legs, and we'll take some time off for exam break. They'll get back to studying, which I hope they have been, but we'll take some time off and we'll really work on some things here in these next 14 days to get ready for George Mason.
It's probably the second time in as many games, I think on Saturday as well, you guys used that press coming out of halftime. It really changed the game. You probably can't play that way for 40 minutes, but how do you kind of determine when to go to that?
Well, coming into the game, we were hoping we weren't going to have to use it as much because we did have some really tired legs. Some people logged a lot of minutes on Saturday, and then we had just played Wednesday, so I can't even remember the last day we had off. I think it was last Sunday maybe. So we've been going pretty hard, so we were hoping we weren't going to have to use it. But at the end of the day, it's our bread and butter. It's won us many of games last year down the stretch. And I just asked them, just give me all you got. Give me all you got. We'll pull you out, get you back in. But, we knew we kept emphasizing, you got a break coming up. Leave it all out on the floor and just play ECU basketball, get back to our culture, how we win games, and who we are.
You think you can get to that point earlier? Is it just?
Yeah, I do. I do. We just, like I said, we're still trying to figure things out. There's still a lot of new kids that are playing that just really don't understand our system and our culture yet. So that's why I'm saying I'm hoping that third, especially the beginning of that third quarter, they saw it, they felt it, and attorneys have to make sure it stays that way. I'm putting that on them to make sure it stays that way, and that's the way we come out early in games. Because at the end of the day, that's who we are. We are a defensive-minded team that's going to be scrappy, stingy, grindy, get out in transition, let the rim open up for us, and then our offense will flow after that.
What have been the challenges as a coach during this stretch to try to, keep the girls ready, but also trying to rest those legs in between games?
Nothing. Everything stayed the same. We knew we had a break coming up. We wanted to build some toughness, throughout this break. We still practice hour 45 minutes, 2 hours, sometimes a little bit longer, because we want to walk away feeling good. We haven't felt good walking away from practice consistently. I thought we strung together a pretty decent practice yesterday, pretty decent practice before we played Coppin State on Friday, but nothing changed. Just really trying to get back to who we are, really sitting down in the half court and trying to get our rotations right in our matchup and trying to get people to understand, what we're trying to do and what we're trying to create in our matchup.
Coach, you forced 30 turnovers. I think you only allowed 18 or 19 field goals. How do you feel like the girls played overall defensively?
Third and fourth quarter, I thought we played very well. Like I said, that's the way it's supposed to look. The first half, that wasn't ECU defense. We allowed them to get whatever they wanted, whether they wanted to get in the paint, whether they wanted to kick out for threes. That's not who we are. We're a stingy defense that makes it really hard for you to score. We don't give up a lot of easy baskets. And here early in the season, we've been giving up too many easy baskets. But, as I said the other day, they aren't crying on a champion right now. So this is the time to figure things out and get all the cobwebs out and start each and every day, start playing a little bit better. So when conference time starts in January, we'll be ready to rock and roll.
Danae, your mid-range, that shot was, I feel like it was there for you. You weren't hesitating to shoot that. What kind of goes through your mind when you're kind of in that groove, especially in the second half?
Just continue to attack and get into it, honestly. My coaches are always telling me to just rise up, elevate, go strong.
Girls, how'd y'all stay level-headed? I mean, Coach McNeil alluded to it that they were a scrappy team. Seems like they got themselves in some trouble. Remember, we saw them turn on each other. We saw them arguing with the officials. It seems like everyone on your bench and your staff on the floor stayed level-headed. How'd you guys do that tonight?
Can I just comment on that?
Sure.
When we play the defense we're supposed to play, that's what happens. That's what happens. When we defend the way we're supposed to defend, people get frustrated, they get upset with each other, they get confused, they start throwing the ball all over the place, and that's what happens. That's the effect. That's the ECU defense effect. That's what happens.
Bobby, this is your second year here. When you were here last year, was there sort of a growing part for you two? It's just kind of getting acclimated to the defense. I mean, you know, how was that like for you in your second year?
Definitely last year. You know, that was a real tough piece for me, but I think I learned well, and you know, I've grown, and now I feel a lot more seasoned in it, and it's just something that you know I'm very confident in. You know, any spot that I'm in on the floor, I feel confident that I can just do my job, do the little things, and that was get stops.
She was huge in the night's game.
Mm-hmm.
She was huge and did a lot of things that won't show up in the stat sheet, but we put her in a position defensively she hadn't played a whole lot of. You know, the top of our press. That's not where she's played a lot. But Bobby's just willing to do whatever she can to help the team. You know, when you have players like, when we get more players like that, that's just willing to do whatever, we'll start winning better and bigger. But she came out and just, this is why she has this on her neck tonight. Because she came out and she got us going in the third quarter defensively.
Danae, can you sort of feel that too? Just when you guys do play like that, can you just kind of feel like the life almost drained from another team in a way?
Oh yeah, I can definitely feel them. They start to, just like you said, turn on each other, and that's what we do. We muck the game up.
What's going through your mind? I know, Bobby, you're kind of the point of that 1-2-2, and Danae, you were a part of a lot of those traps too. When you start to see the panic on the opponent's face, pick up the dribble, two hands on a ball, does the adrenaline start pumping?
Yeah, definitely. It's exciting. Like, you know, getting turnovers back to back to back, steals, layups. You know, just making them throw the ball to somebody else. Like I might not even get the steal in the trap, but I know my teammate behind me is gonna go get it. Like that's where the energy changed. When we started getting those stops, it became fun out there, and you know, you weren't worried about offense too much more because that was our offense.
Next game's in like 2 weeks, I think, so it's a little ways off. So obviously, I'm sure this was important just to probably go in feeling good into that stretch, right?
Definitely. I mean, we got a nice little break. You know, get some recovery. Got some tired legs. Got some people kind of banged up. So we'll take this opportunity to get back healthy, get our legs back underneath us, work on some things, change some things up offensively, continue to work on our defense, and just continue to work on us. Work on our chemistry, work on our culture. So it's going to be a long break, but I think it's a needed break.
Anything else?
Good.
It was a 7